I'm excited to be here today and to help you with one of the challenges that you can have as a homeschooling mom, and that's what do you do with your kids when they get to high school? And I know the responsibility that you have is to find the best teachers for every subject and then spend the money where you need to get those good teachers on the subjects that are most important. And I didn't do that with math, and I think our kids didn't come out with a love for math because of that. I just kind of handed them a textbook and said, here, learn this. They learned it. They did fine in school, but it wasn't, I mean, once they got to college, but it wasn't the ideal. And health is something that's too important to leave to chance. How many times have you gone Googling something on the internet and gotten scared to death by a couple of the symptoms that you had because you didn't know where to look for real information? That's the kind of thing that I'm going to show your students how to do to get real information about health. If you are a homeschooling mom of high schoolers, you are in the right place. Give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen now, and I'll give you more information about the high school health class that I have available coming up. Now, if you already know this is a fit for you, there's a link below that you can click on that'll take you right to SoCalGardenHealth.teachable.com. And there I've got two separate health courses. One is specifically designed for homeschool, like privately homeschooled. And both of them have the option of a separate module on spiritual disciplines for spiritual health, because I feel like that is critical to being healthy for the long term. So let me see if I can get this to share. Here we go. All right. High school health, because real health improves generations. And I don't know if you've ever given this much thought, but what would it be worth to you to know that your grandchildren would have the nutrition necessary to be as healthy as they could possibly be? So like I said, if you're homeschooling high schoolers and want future generations to be healthier, you are in the right place. I am Cynthia Cruz. I've been passionate about health for 30 years. I have associates in child development and a diploma of dietary supplement science, and I'm in my last class for the diploma of comprehensive nutrition. I am not a medical doctor. If you're looking for disease diagnostics and testing, you got to see your doctor, not me. But this health course I'm super excited about because I think it'll change the life for your family. And I've had some really great feedback from moms that say, you know what, this is a course not only for the students, but also for the parents. It's that critical. And a big advantage of getting this course right now is that you'll have access to this for a lifetime. So if you want to search some information, or if I upgrade the course and add a few modules, those are yours for free too. So live classes are available starting March 11th, 2020. And I believe that the $200 price point is going to be available through March, or through the beginning of March. But I got to tell you, it would cost you that much just to pay for a couple sessions with me as a nutritional consultant by yourself. So being able to have an intimate class setting with your students and where we can answer questions or answer questions for you. I welcome the parents joining us as well. So the required books that we have for this course are Tripping Over the Truth, which is a phenomenal, it's like a novel story about the metabolic theory of cancer. And then the second one is the Prescription for Nutritional Healing. And that is just a great reference book that I think every family should have to be able to look something up if you have a challenge with your health and you're thinking, I think this can be solved at home. And then you look it up and sure enough, there's some ideas there that'll help you and your family to be healthier. Now, just like with any homeschool class, you give the final grade as the teacher, but you don't have to tell your students. I will give you a recommendation based on their performance. So Module 1 is so exciting because George Lucas talked about midichlorians and the force, back in the 70s, he said that Luke Skywalker had like 20,000 midichlorians, but the average human would only have like 5,000. What's crazy is that it's loosely based on mitochondria. And there's actually a lot of truth to this. There's nutrition and exercise and things that you can do to not only improve the health of your mitochondria, but also increase the number of them so you can increase your force, if you will. Anyway, so we start with that. Then we go into bacteria, finding out where did our body produce its energy? Well, that's back on the mitochondria. But we're also going to find out about the bacteria. We live in a sea of germs. What if we could feed the ones that protect us and starve the ones that could hurt us? A compost pile is a perfect example of good guys beating out the bad guys or the pathogens. That happens on a daily basis. So we're going to study more about that in Module 1. How bubonic plague went away and malaria reduced by germs that were controlled. What happens when I take antibiotics or eat something that hasn't? Is it a virus or a bacteria? And then one of the things that's really important that I encourage students to do in this course is to write in their journal, because I feel like journal writing, thinking through what you've heard, and how it may or may not be different from what you've already learned, or maybe we're just reinforcing what mom has already told them, but writing it down in the journal is hugely important. And then just like on my website, I include health hacks, simple things you can do to make a difference for your health. So high school health module 2, we talk about exercise and how it affects body systems, bringing oxygen in, getting toxins out, and helping every body system function at its best. We also talk about large muscle exercises, which tell your bones to strengthen themselves. I don't know how old you are, but at my age, that's a huge factor to be able to keep my bones strong. And to be honest with you, it even affects my teeth. And 15 years ago, I started doing just 15, 25 lunges every week. And those large muscle exercises tell your bones, oh, we have more force against us. We need to get stronger. And they do. So little tricks about that, about the body, are some of the things we're going to cover with your students. Find exercise that you enjoy. That's just a huge factor. Carbohydrates, calories, and healthy habits are the topic of Module 3. And the body can burn carbohydrates, or it can burn fat. And just like us, the body prefers sugar over fat. So as long as you have carbohydrates in your diet, that's what it's going to burn. But when you eliminate carbohydrates long enough, it learns how to burn fat. So we'll talk about the uses for that. I think students are, when young people are growing, there's certainly a place for healthy carbohydrates, especially good fruits and vegetables. Macronutrients and micronutrients are the second part of Module 3. And we'll talk about how important are micronutrients. These are the things we don't talk about, right? The macronutrients are like protein, fats, carbohydrates. You can see that on the back of a nutrition label. But how about micronutrients? How important are the B vitamins or minerals like zinc for your immune system, or selenium as an antioxidant or to help the thyroid to function properly? We'll talk about all those things. And also we touch on healthy habits. And I feel like it's so empowering for a student to know that they can actually create a healthy habit. If they see that there's a challenge in their life that they want to fix, we talk about how do you create a new habit? How do you make it solid in your life? And then, of course, a health hack: eliminate excessively puffy eyes and free radicals. Module 4, we talk about cholesterol and the cardiovascular system. Does what you eat affect your cholesterol? Did you know that your body produces more cholesterol in one day than you can possibly eat? These are some of the things your students will learn about how the body uses cholesterol to manufacture hormones, vitamin D, and even the cell membranes are made mostly of lipids. So they need to be healthy lipids if you're going to be healthy. Then we talk about the cardiovascular system. And the medical system today seems to focus on cholesterol as being the most important thing, but there are actually 17 different factors that can affect arterial disease that you can do, things you can do to make a difference to prevent cardiovascular issues. So we will talk about that. There's a fascinating experiment that we'll talk about on how food affects cholesterol levels, and it's probably not what you think. So write in your journal what happens if cholesterol gets too low. And then health hack number 4, how to reduce triglycerides. My high school health module 5 talks about stress, anxiety, the physician's desk reference, and drugs. I really want students to understand that there's a lot that they can do. If their mind starts going down negative pathways, what can they do to change that? So there's things that they can do physically, like exercise, increasing the serotonin in the brain. There's things that they can do herbally to help make you feel better by increasing a little bit of serotonin. And then we learn about the dangers of drugs, how to look into the physician's desk reference to see the side effects of drugs, how to avoid the side effects of drugs by avoiding drugs. That's the preferred way of doing it. So write in your journal what drugs do to the liver and why. Health hack number 5 is staying calm amidst the storm. You're probably going to want to look into this one yourself. High school health, because good health impacts generations. I've really got a passion and a mission to make a difference in this country for health. And I really believe that it starts by educating young people on how to be healthy, how to stay healthy, and when the time comes, when it's God's timing, how to have healthy children. So the link is down below. I encourage you to sign up now. It's not the $2,000 that it probably should cost, but the price could go up in March. If you have any questions, I'm at cynthia@SoCalGardenHealth.com. And down below should be a link with SoCalGardenHealth.teachable.com, so you can sign up for the health class and learn a little bit more.